welcome back to my channel. I am, as usual, overdressed. Today we have switched it up a bit with some pastel colors. Honestly, I've been having such a love for pastels lately. I think I'm blaming my new hair, the rose gold pinky tone. It just does something to me. So I don't know if you can see, but I have like this super cute pastel makeup on today, and honestly I'm starting to feel a little bit like one of those manga anime main characters. So anyway, welcome back to another episode of my FloorTalk series. Last time we talked about what is bipolar disorder, which got really heavy and really long, but it kind of had to be. So I was thinking that maybe today I was going to answer some of your questions about being bipolar, because like I said, it got really technical and not a lot of what is my personal experience, which I know that a lot of you who follow me on Instagram like to know. So yesterday I posted on my Instagram asking what are your questions about being bipolar and how I live with it. And I actually got a few really interesting questions that I have picked out that I want to answer. The first one I got is, are you medicated? Yes, I am medicated. And I have been since I was 18, when I was admitted for several weeks to mental hospital. That sounded really bad, but yeah, I was there for several weeks because I tried to kill myself and it got really bad. And that's also when I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So yeah, I'm medicated. I'm heavily medicated on antipsychotics, which is also why my disorder is pretty easy and pretty manageable, really. Someone else, actually, just so you know, I kind of need to look down from time to time because I have the questions on my notes here. The next question is, someone asked me to tell how a completely ordinary thing to everyone else can be a really difficult and struggle thing with being bipolar. And I actually mentioned this on my Instagram. If you do not follow me on Instagram, you really should. I will link it in the description down below, and go check it out because I post a lot of my everyday snapshot, the struggles and stuff there. But a completely ordinary thing that bothers me as bipolar is traveling. I love traveling. I really do. Like, my heart and soul absolutely adores it, but not my head. I'm excited for traveling up until I have to start packing. When I have to start packing, my head gets really noisy. I start overthinking things, and I get nervous and I get anxious, and my head starts to spin out of control, and it will do this from I begin packing until I have arrived at my destination. So it's a really anxious experience for me because I always wonder if I forgot something important, or if I'm gonna catch my plane, if I am at the right place, do I have my ticket. So I have to always be at the airport or like train station or something really early, so I know I have enough time. If not, I will just go into a panic, which really bothers my boyfriend because he's so used to travel that he can arrive at the airport and have like half an hour, and no, 20 minutes, and it's like, oh yeah, we have all the time in the world, and I'm like, no we don't. So it's bad. But yeah, that's a completely ordinary thing that for most people is really enjoyable, but for me it's just a complete nightmare until I get to the destination. Then I'm okay. Then it's amazing, and I have completely forgotten how bad it was traveling, except that I'm absolutely exhausted. But yeah, I hope that answers your questions. The next one I have here is someone asked me what is the most difficult thing about my diagnosis, and if there's any strengths to my diagnosis. I think that the most difficult thing to like deal with, it has to be those times when I feel down and I feel depressed and exhausted and like everything is wrong, but I don't have a reason to be. Like, basically the most difficult thing to deal with when being bipolar are the like ups and downs. Fair enough that since I am medicated, my ups and downs are really benign compared to the ones that are not medicated. But still, having those times when you wake up and you just have several days, maybe weeks of feeling down and tired and like you don't have the motivation to do anything but just lie on the couch because without any reason, you just feel absolutely broken. Those has to be like the most difficult thing to deal with being bipolar, because it doesn't only affect me, it also affects my partner, my friends, generally people around me. It's not fun. It really isn't. I'm actually sort of in one of those periods right now, which is maybe hard to see since I'm sitting here and I'm smiling and I'm wearing makeup, but the past few days I have just felt so tired and just so unmotivated to do things. And I have absolutely no reason to be, because there's absolutely nothing wrong in my life at the moment. Everything is actually perfect. But even the fact that something is absolutely perfect can make someone that is bipolar stressed and make us just spin out of control. She also asked though, what are the strengths? Like if there are any strengths to being bipolar. And I would say that there are. It's hard to explain, but those times I go up are really amazing because I do have the up energy for absolutely anything. And when I first get into something like my diet or working out or my YouTube channel, I have all the energy in the world to do it. So I can do anything and I will work on it constantly and I will have all the motivation, all the inspiration, all the energy. It's amazing. Which is also one of those hypomanic manic episodes, if you watched the last one. So the only problem there is that it can be really hard to like keep up with, because it is something that is a part of my diagnosis, one of the symptoms. But sometimes because I am medicated and I do know myself, I am able to like work it to my advantage and like ride the wave productively. And those times are amazing because I get so much things done. Like I am the superwoman of the world and I can do anything. I can have a business online. I can keep my house spotless, always make healthy food, work out. I can do anything. So yeah, I do think that is one of the strengths with it, even though there is like a downside to it. Next question. Someone asked me what is most difficult to handle like in my day-to-day life. And that one is actually really easy because I did experience it kind of recently. A couple of days ago, no. It's actually closer to a week. I had a really bad experience where what happened is that I got a small defeat in like my long-term plan. It's not important what happened. What is important is that one of the things that is hardest to handle in my day-to-day life is that really small setbacks can absolutely wreck me, absolutely ruin me, make me just absolutely depressed and lose all belief in myself, all faith I have in myself, all self-esteem. I was told I didn't pass my exam, which isn't really a big deal. I can do it again. It'll just take more time until I can go to school and study. But the fact that I did not pass, it tore me down. I went from being queen of the world and having so much fun last Saturday to just, no, actually it's more like 2 weeks ago when I think about it. Me and time, I really suck. I really suck at it. So 2 weeks, so not last Saturday, it's Saturday before that. I was having so much fun. I was at the top of the world, and getting this one message just ruined my entire day. And I think I'm still affected by it. I'm still feeling down about it. I'm still feeling like I can't move past it. And this happens quite frequently. Me just getting small setbacks or just small things I suddenly can't do, and it just ruins my mood absolutely. And it happens quite frequently, and it's something I am trying to work on, but it's not easy to work on it because my head is like it is. Next question is how old I was when me or people around me noticed I was bipolar. So the first thing you will need to know is that my mom is bipolar. She has been bipolar my whole life. So my family was already educated in what bipolar was and how to notice it. I didn't notice until I was quite old. I think I was 16 or 17. 16, 17 when I really understood the fact that I was sick, that something wasn't right. But my family, like, I remember my dad and me talking about it, and my dad said he noticed it when I was 14, I think he said. 13, 14. He noticed it really early, really early. My dad is also educated in these things. He worked in the school system. So for him and with my mom, it was really easy for him to spot it. But I think from the time I was 13, 14, my family just gradually understood the fact that I was sick and I was bipolar. Or maybe not that I was bipolar, but the fact that something wasn't right and that I wasn't functioning as well as I should have. So it's not as it was easier in a way for me because I was told from an early age that my family was suspecting something wasn't right. And of course, even though I remember my teenage years as absolutely horrible, I did have an easier time with it than many others have because I wasn't alone. I had my mom and my family and people around me who understood that some of the things I didn't do because I wanted to, but because I was sick. So I was really lucky compared to most other people. What is also important to know is that I don't think it's normal to be diagnosed with bipolar disorder until like you're 18, because a lot of the symptoms of bipolar disorder can be confused with teenage hormones and such. So they don't really want to diagnose someone under 18 unless it's like really dangerously obvious that they are bipolar. Don't quote me on that, but I do think that's how it is. The last question kind of hurts my heart. So, which is why I saved it for last, because I want to take a good few minutes to explain this. The question is, how do I deal with having a relationship while being bipolar? Because the person who asked it says they used to be married to someone who is bipolar, and it wasn't very easy for them because she struggled to know what was him and what was his diagnosis. Kind of the first thing I want to touch on here is the fact that no one, oh, this sounds better in Norwegian, no one is bipolar. They have a bipolar diagnosis. You whatever diagnosis, chronic illness you have, you aren't your diagnosis. So yes, you are bipolar, you have bipolar disorder, but you aren't your sickness, you aren't your diagnosis, you aren't your chronic illness. It's just something you have that affects you. It's a really important thing to do not identify with your diagnosis, because it will, or identify someone you love with the diagnosis, because it won't help them. It really won't help them. It can actually do more damage than good. So to answer your question, I get that it's not easy being with someone that is bipolar. Like I said, I have a mom who's bipolar, and growing up with her, I do remember how it was to be like her family while she was really sick before she was diagnosed and medicated. And it's a turbulent and difficult spot to be in. It really is. So having a relationship with someone who's bipolar, I get that it's not easy. I'm really, really lucky. I have been with my boyfriend for soon 1.5 years, and we have lived together for half a year now, and honestly it's going really well. I think the best way to do a relationship with someone that is bipolar is to really, really educate yourself on what bipolar disorder is. Because most of the time, like the woman here asks, she says it's difficult to know what was he and what was the diagnosis. Most of it is him. It's never not him. He just reacts or does things in a different way because of the way his mind works. So really educate, talk to the person, have them explain what is going on in their head, so that you can learn to predict when something happens, what is going on in their head at the same time. It will make it much easier to live with someone that has the bipolar diagnosis. I will also recommend, if they are going to like a psychiatrist in therapy or something like that, join them for a session or two. Talk to the psychiatrist about it. Talk openly about the conflicts in your relationship, and have her help you understand what is going on. Because bipolar disorder is a really manageable disease. It is. If you are medicated in a good way, you are in therapy, and you have good people around you, it really isn't that hard to keep normal with the diagnosis. So I know that my boyfriend, when me and him started, and I was really open with him about being bipolar, he asked a lot of questions about my past, about what was going on in my head. So of course I can never say for sure what is going on in his head, but I know that he understands me. To others, it might not always seem like he does, but I do know he understands me, and the way he reacts is his way of helping. So, as with any relationship, just communicate, talk, understand each other, show a little bit of patience, because a bipolar person is very unpredictable, so it can be really difficult to like get to know the person. It will take time until you learn everything, because you as a person with a bipolar disorder won't know when you're doing something that's weird or abnormal. So you rely on people around you to tell you that, this is not how usual people think. And if you're going to be in a relationship with someone with a bipolar diagnosis, that's how you're going to do it. Just communicate, communication, understanding, and patience. Because I think that actually, like, that's how you do any relationship, really. You kind of just have to focus a little bit more on the understanding and patience part when you're with someone that is bipolar. I hope that advice helps you. Maybe one day I will get my boyfriend to come join me here on the channel, and he can explain what kind of things he thinks is hard with being in a relationship with me and what he really likes about it, what strengths he thinks it is. Could be a cool episode, but I don't think he will for now. He's shy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed hearing the answers to these questions, and I hope those of you who asked got good answers that you feel like you understood. If you like this video, if you like hearing me tell about how it is being bipolar, give this video a thumbs up. Maybe throw in a comment if you would like to see my boyfriend here. Maybe I will trick him into coming here then. Persuade him. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye. Give me all you got.